Okay, hello and welcome to the final video. Thank God. Honestly, I don't think YouTube's my thing, and I can only apologise for the quality of the content I'm putting out there. But basically, if you're not aware, this is just all part of some resources, and really it's the PowerPoint that you should be using that I've put together with all of the links, all of the help guides, and all of the explanations. And really, these videos are just a kind of that go further, that extra level for those people that need to actually see it in practice and understand it. And also, you get the behind the scenes, not only how I edited it, but also the decisions that I made. And what you don't get from the PowerPoint is what you're getting from these videos, which is an actual physical example of what a good one looks like. So that's what we're going to look at now. We're going to look at the three adverts that I made, and I'm going to explain to you the decisions that I made and how they link into the brief. Now, when you guys actually create your products, it's really important then that you actually go back and you check them. And if you follow this link on the website, and just if you're one of my students, you'll have this. If you're not, if you've just stumbled upon this, you'll find it on Tez. So you can go to Tez, and as you can see, it's not been out there for that long, but it's already been downloaded a considerable amount of times. So it's clearly very popular. So as a resource, it works quite well. But as I say, these videos are more just to accompany it and to show you that behind the scenes, what does a good one look like? And if you follow these links, and if you follow this advice, what does it actually take you, and what does it look like? Anyway, I'm waffling, so let's crack on. So here was the brief. Actually, let me go back. Also, just to point out, I'm not very good at editing these YouTube videos because I don't like it. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. Click on this link and it will actually take you to AQA's website, where they have the official marking criteria for your non-exam assessment. You're not cheating, it's public knowledge. It's an open browser resource. You can just Google it and it will come up, but that is the official one, and it tells you exactly how marks are allocated and what they are allocated for. So I would always say, before you submit your final product, mark it yourself, or get someone else, get a friend to look it over and mark it and get an idea of what score you think you might have, because then you've got time, haven't you, to go in and make any adjustments. And I've got to be perfectly honest, this actually happened to me with this brief. I'd made all my adverts for 30 seconds because I'd forgotten that the brief actually said 40 to 60 seconds. I'd gotten fixated on this 25 seconds of voice and I forgot. So I had to go back and redo all of my adverts when I came to do this point of the video. So it does happen, and it's really worth just reading the brief against your final product and checking your scores. So here's advert one. This advert was for families with young children. I'll play it and then I'll talk you through the choices that I made.
This menu at Jose's. 3 toys, stuff to do. There's even a play. Check out the new kids menu at Jose's. 3 toys, stuff to do. There's even a play area in the family section. Best place in the world ever. Oh, and the ice creams are huge.
Okay, off you go. In all fairness, he's right though. The kids menu is actually full of really healthy foods, good portions, and it's affordable. The staff are really friendly, and the ice creams are huge.
Dad, I said that.
So, head down for a fun, family-friendly experience.
Ir a Jose porque barata es cara.
Okay, so with that one, we've got at least 25 seconds of voice. I did that when I was making the voice edits before we even put anything together, so I know I've met that brief. It's got the name of the restaurant chain. He says head on down to Jose's. There's 2 different voices, the father and son. There is wild track and there is sound effects in the ident. Now the appropriate choice of slogan is it's in Mexican, but it's that bit of the ident where it says go to Jose's, because I can't remember what it means, but look back on the other videos and it'll tell you. But it was chosen appropriately to have connotations of Mexican proverbs and this idea of quality food. But go back to the other videos and it'll tell you. I can't quite remember. An emphasis on the restaurant's appeal. Yeah, massive ice creams, kids menus, play areas, friendly staff. Audio features, so lots of notes to this sort of like fun, energetic Mexican vibes going on, loads of connotations in the music. Register for the family audience, absolutely appropriate. And then the narrative codes of the sort of the child use of persuasive language as well. We've got a bit of pathos in there, and we've also got intertextuality with the down with the trumpets and the rizzle kicks, and the Spanish guitar at the end. And all of that's edited together to create this idea of a fun, upbeat, family-friendly place. So we've absolutely met the brief, minimum requirements for that advert. Let's have a look at the next one for couples. I finally convinced Anne-Marie to come on a date with me. I thought it would take the VIP cocktails and the sharing platter menu, but no, all it took was the mention of Jose's.
I've got to be honest, we've been married for 7 years, so when Mike asked me out for a date, I was a little flustered. But this place is lovely. We're in a nice, intimate couples booth. It's quiet and romantic, and no kids. Well, until we get home.
Ir a Jose porque barata es cara.
Okay, so again, 25 seconds of voice. I had to re-edit my bit a lot of times because I've got quite a flat, unenergetic, boring voice, which, to be fair, if you've watched any of the other videos, you will know by now. And also, yeah, I struggled a lot to get that, but I didn't want to spend any more money on a voice actor. I only spent £6 in all, and you can. What I wanted to do in each of the adverts, you've got my son in the one we just watched, and you've got me in the other one, and you can hear the difference. Now, I'm not saying you have to hire professionals to pass your GCSE, but what I am saying is if you're one of those students who struggles to record yourself or find friends who will do those parts for you, then get on Fiverr.com and spend £4 on a professional person to actually do it for you. It's not that much money when you consider the quality that you get. Anyway, I'm not, Fiverr aren't paying me anything to say this. Okay, it's got two different voices. It's got the wild track because I've sampled and reused the heartbeats, which is, again, it's Spanish guitar. It's the artist Intertextuality has the same name as the restaurant, and the song is called Heartbeats, and it's got that slow. I've slowed it down as well to create that romantic, slow, atmospheric vibe. Emphasis on the restaurant's appeal. Yep, she's talking about quiet, private booths. I'm talking about cocktail bars and VIP menus and chances to show off. So we're absolutely appealing to that specific audience. And the register, the language, use of narrative codes. And one of the other things as well is I've tried to challenge stereotypes in these adverts. Rather than have the mum talking about being there with the kids, I've had the dad as the caregiver, just to challenge that stereotype. And in this one, rather than have a young couple on the first date, I've gone for an established married couple, sort of reigniting their flame a little bit. So I've tried to challenge the stereotypes of families and couples. Okay, so let's have a look at the final advert now.
Jose's is sick. We've just finished our exams, and after being stuck at home revising, we need to go out and celebrate. I'm getting the supersized sharing platter of fajitas and nachos. Who's in?
Count me in. Also, you didn't mention the group tables are easy to book online for group sizes up to 10, which means we can fit everyone at one table. Oh, and the free Wi-Fi. Do not forget the free Wi-Fi.
Ir a Jose porque barata es cara.
Okay, so again, all the adverts are exactly 40 seconds. They've all got the ident in there. at the end. So they all talk about the restaurant chain. They all say that Jose's in all three of them. They talk about Jose's. There's at least 2 voices in all of them. They've all got wild track or sound effects. So in that one, I sampled Justin Bieber Despacito. I slowed it down. I added in some other little tracks and some other bits of music, so that the singing wouldn't detract from what the actual characters were saying. And so I did that. I chose that music as well because of the target audience, specifically to appeal to them. I've tried to emphasize restaurants' appeal for teenagers, Wi-Fi, group bookings, big tables, the type of food, so sharing nachos, fajitas, that sort of thing, and this idea of winding down. And I also included some Foley sound in that, of like this buzz sort of party-like atmosphere. Okay, and again, you could say that's audio features to establish the style of the restaurant. And again, it's got that link to Spanish language and vibes and things. Okay, and narrative code's very clear, I think, about this persuasive language. It's very much like pathos, and there's a lot of logos in there as well. And it's very enthused, and it follows the conventions of a typical radio advert based on those ones that we studied all the way back in, I think, the 4th video in this playlist. So I'm quite happy with that. I also tried to challenge the stereotypes a little bit of teenagers by having them talk about, you know, the winding down after revising and studying, to try and take away this idea that teenagers are lazy. I'd rather play on the idea that they're working hard and that they revise in groups and that they're sort of ambitious. Okay, so I'm quite happy. I've met all the minimum requirements. I feel like it's been edited quite well, considering it was done on a phone, in basically in lockdown during this coronavirus. And I'm quite happy that I've also gone that extra mile with intertextuality, subverting stereotypes of people, the different representations. So I'd be quite happy that this would be a very easy one to get top marks on. Okay, well look, thank you for watching the videos, and I hope that they're helpful for you. I'm sorry that I haven't got the patience to sit and edit through this video that I've made in order to make it a bit more slick, but you know, time is precious and I can't be bothered, to be quite honest. So enjoy the videos, do your best, and if you're one of my students, send me a message and I'll try and help you out as much as possible.